So right as we get done talking about what a big week it was for the Oklahoma Sooners, a major flip occurs. Because the Georgia Bulldogs were successfully able to flip Anthony Evans, one of the top wide receivers in all of high school football, from Oklahoma to Georgia. Today, we need to talk about this. We need to discuss what this means for the Georgia Bulldogs. We need to discuss the events leading up to this, and we need to talk about where Oklahoma could turn next. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised that Georgia was able to pull off this flip? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, we need to talk about what Georgia's getting in Anthony Evans, and he is a straight up burner. This is someone that's recorded a sub 22 second 200 meter dash, and whenever you watch his tape, it's really obvious that he's someone a defense has got to account for. He is a deep threat, but he's also someone that's real dangerous when the ball is in his hands. And because of that, I know the Georgia Bulldog faithful are going to be very excited to see what he's able to do once he gets to the next level. This is a dude that you can use as an absolute mismatch. You can move him around to generate mismatches with the defense and take advantage of those mismatches, and I'm very excited to see what he does at the next level. But now, we need to dive into the events that led up to this, because over the offseason, Brent Venables gave a speech that went fairly viral, talking about commitment and how if you commit to the Oklahoma Sooners, you're not going to take visits elsewhere. However, over the course of this year, we've seen that rule tested several times. And then the rule went from you're not taking visits to you cannot take official visits elsewhere, but you can take unofficial visits. And while at some level I understand this because during the course of an official visit, you get much more access to the staff, at the same time, I still had questions because if a player is willing to pay out of their own pocket to go see an institution, in my mind, that just reaffirms how serious they are about going and visiting that institution. Now, important to note, like I said, during an official visit, you have much more access to the staff, but once again, in my opinion, if I'm willing to pay my own money to travel for all expenses to go visit an institution, that just shows how serious I am about trying to get that experience, so it's something we're going to have to watch going forward. I bring up the visit policy because Anthony Evans was one of the individuals to test that policy. He took an unofficial visit to Georgia, and now he's flipped from Oklahoma to Georgia. We saw a similar story with Ashton Cozart and Colton Vasek. And while I absolutely understand saying, hey, if you're committed to our class, we don't want you taking visits elsewhere, it's just interesting to me to draw that line in the sand between unofficial visits and official visits, and I'm really interested in hearing from Oklahoma fans your thoughts about it. But now we have to ask the question, what does this mean for the Oklahoma Sooners? Because you now only have one wide receiver commit in your class, Jaquez Petaway. And the question I have for Oklahoma fans is, do you believe that this could open up the opportunity for Micah Tease, an individual who Oklahoma was after, but they were after him at the DB position? Arkansas said they were open to him playing wide receiver, and he committed to the Arkansas Razorbacks. However, he's in the state of Oklahoma. He's someone that you have to feel like if an opportunity presents itself, Oklahoma could get back in this battle, and an opportunity has presented itself. Personally, I think he's an incredibly talented prospect, and now that you have a definite need at the wide receiver position, why not pursue it? But this is going to be something really interesting to see, because this is not the first decommitment at the wide receiver position we have seen from the Oklahoma Sooners. Ashton Cozart had a very similar situation earlier in the year. I'm really interested in hearing from all of you. Georgia fans, what are you thinking about the new weapon you just got in Anthony Evans? Oklahoma fans, very interested in hearing your thoughts on this visit policy, as well as where you think you'll turn for another wide receiver. That's it. See ya.